Here are some wonderful photos from Oklahoma, the wonderful state of Oklahoma. Access to crystal meth, call Hunter Biden. How to kill gods. I'm not going to read that. Demon rats enjoin thou shall not kill. It's legal in America to murder unborn babies. Half will be black. Old school way of referencing black people. 1,500 daily. See, now, one of the things that I'm conflicted with this is that, like, this is contradicting statements. Because on the one hand, they're like, no abortions. But also on the other hand, like, but on the other hand, they're saying, like, you know, America is going to be black one day. So, like, I don't understand it. Like, which one is it? Are those dead babies? Yes. And also, they got, like, is that the head of Hitler? Like, is that a Hitler head? Are they pro-Hitler? Are they anti-Hitler? They got the swastikas. It seems like they're pro-Hitler. Joe Biden's prenatal care. But then they got the Swazis everywhere. There's a 9/11 mural in the back. Abortion, the spilling of innocent blood. Democrats, who's the real terrorist? To conquer America first, Democrats have to disarm the citizens. Adolf Hitler. In America, 1800s, you could buy blacks, torture, whip, castrate, sell, beat, rape, breed. Dang. 2020, it's Planned Parenthood. Wait, are they throwing up swastikas while simultaneously saying they care about black people? Like, I don't understand. This is what I mean. This is giving mixed messages. You know what I mean, right? Like, it is giving mixed messages. Like, are they saying this was a good thing? Or are they saying it's a bad thing and now they do it with Planned Parenthood? But also, if they're saying it's a bad thing, why do they have swastikas? I can't tell if they're agreeing with the swastikas because of the messages that they're mentioning, or if they are or saying Joe Biden is a Nazi. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you understand? Like, yeah, it's giving schizophrenia, but also, like, average Halloween decorations in Alabama. Like, it seems like they're anti-black. Okay, I don't think anyone that's pro-black is saying black N-words like this. Okay, so, but then they're also saying, like, Planned Parenthood is killing black people. So, what does that even mean? Like, what? There's a guy I've been keeping an eye on via Facebook for like 6 years now who's getting his Swazis and other racist tasks removed because he made a black friend and that friend saved his life, basically. Pretty cool to see. Oh, that's awesome. Like, Hitler was pretty pro-abortion when it came to, you know, non-white people. He made it illegal for white people to get abortions. You know what I mean? Like, that was so it's like hard to pin these people down on this idea. I mean, he wasn't just pro-abortion, he was pro-murder and sterilization. Oh my God, that's Obama. Oh my God, that's an Obama head on the window, I think. Okay, there's a lot going on here. There is a lot going on. All I know is, you know, people say like words are violence is like an exaggeration or whatever. But you see a fucking church like this in your neighborhood, how are you gonna feel safe as a black person? You know what I mean? As a brown person, or just like anyone in general. How are you gonna feel safe when this guy is in your backyard? This is the church. I don't give a fuck. I'd Millie rock on that block. Yeah, dude. I don't know about that. Yeah, I saw the Twin Towers chatters. You don't have to point to them. Okay. So first, before we get to A. Jones, okay, and what the fuck's going on there, we're going to talk about good news.
Surprising vote overnight.
Good news coming out of Kansas, okay? A lot of people have talked about how the Republicans have overplayed their hand with this like abortion decision. This is going to bite them in the ass. Democrats were failing on their own, and then Republicans had to go too fucking far with their victory laps. Going overboard, going over the fucking top. And now, and now people are upset at them because even Republicans are like, well, we want fucking access to this medical procedure if there's a way, right? So Kansas had a ballot measure to basically take out a Kansas Supreme Court decision made back in 2019 that would protect abortion at least up to 22 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, in the state of Kansas. And because of the Kansas Supreme Court justice, the Kansas State Supreme Court justice, making such a decision, abortion was, at least within the Constitution of the state of Kansas, constitutionally protected. Okay? And of course, the Republicans were like, yeah, fuck that. We don't want to do that. We want to take that down, which is why there was a ballot measure. Okay? Now, that ballot measure played out in a way that I guess the Kansas Republicans were not expecting, where a no vote was to keep Kansas State protecting, or a no vote on the ballot measure would mean that Kansas would continue protecting abortion rights, and a yes vote would mean that Kansas would be able to overturn the decision of the Kansas Supreme Court justice, which would then allow Kansas State Legislature and the Republicans in the Kansas State Legislature to turn around and implement new criminalization, implement new laws and opportunities to criminalize abortion. Now, there was a lot of fucking shady shit that went on, but what ended up happening is actually good news, which is very rare. By the way, our good news in America now is literally like, for the time being, people who are pregnant in that, like inside of Kansas State and near Kansas, can be able to get an abortion, like a medical procedure that, should be constitutionally protected. So just remember that, okay? Like, this is such a, like, minor victories now literally are like, oh yeah, gay people, don't be afraid, you can still get married. If that law passes in the Senate, you know what I mean? It's like the bar is in hell. Okay, but remember, Kansas is a red state. And remember, I fucking told you time and time again that even in red fucking states, that the overwhelming majority of people want to make sure that people still have bodily autonomy and can get a fucking medical procedure if they want to. Because the other side of this argument is fucking insane, and it revolves around, like, religious zealotry. No matter how much the likes of Ben Shapiro and others try to make it seem like it's not about that, like it's actually just baby murder or whatever, people still want to be able to get this medical procedure if they want to, okay? If they need to. So let's watch this. There's some inferences that you can make out of this. I think people are celebrating it. I think people are celebrating it too soon.
Right in Kansas, the first state to vote on abortion since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Voters there triggered a strong backlash, affirming the state's constitution, which protects abortion rights. Remember, Kansas is a deep red state where there are far more Republicans than Democrats.
The vote rejecting a proposed amendment to the state constitution that would have invalidated abortion rights in Kansas. Rachel Scott has been tracking this issue and was there overnight.
Kansas is pretty purple. 2 of the last 3 governors are Democrats. Brother, that's crazy to think. Looking at governors, what do I always tell you? Do not look at gubernatorial races to understand what the state looks like. Do not assume a state is purple because they have the opposite party's representative in the governorship. Okay, that doesn't mean anything. There are plenty of fucking blue states with red governors, and there are red states with blue governors. That doesn't mean anything. I promise. Okay. The governor race is one of the few fucking races where the gubernatorial race is one of the few races where like people only care about who you are, what your policies are, and your vibes, rather than just voting down the fucking voting down ballot and striking fucking Republican if you're just a Republican voter. Now that still motivates most people, but there's but unlike any of the other fucking races, the governor oftentimes is voted on vibe checks and ideology or their personal ideology rather than party loyalty.
Tonight, as the results came in. Good morning, Rachel.
Robin, good morning. This was a massive show of support for abortion rights in a conservative, traditionally red state. Less than 6 weeks after Roe v. Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court, voters in this state of Kansas sent a clear message that the right to an abortion should be protected.
This was the moment the results came in. Kansas voters overwhelmingly decided to protect access to abortion.
It's a huge victory for Kansas, for women, for reproductive rights in America.
The first political test in a post-Roe America, handing abortion rights groups a major victory.
This sends a message that the women are coming out of the woodworks. Like we are.
Make no mistake, I'm not a fan of letting states decide. I am an authoritarian. There is a federal government that is supposed to do the right thing. If you let states decide, we'd still have fucking slavery, which we do. But like straight up slavery, you know what I mean? Which we kind of do. 13th Amendment, prison system. But I mean like just straight up human chattel slavery, right? So I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of like let the states decide. But with abortion, it's such a fucking like obvious like it's such an obvious example of like the Republicans going absolutely ape mode. Okay, bananas with how much fucking power they're able to exercise in an undemocratic capacity. That like even if you were to let states decide, you would get this result, even in fucking red states like Kansas. Okay, you would. And you have. Now, that's the reason why you will see other red states never make a mistake like this. So remind yourself of that, okay? Other states are not going to make this mistake. They're not going to put this fucking ballot measure up. Can you imagine? Like, I don't think Texas would ever do that. Some states don't even have. Tanky is coming out. Yeah, no, I'm fucking. If you think that means rolling tanks over like Hungarian people or some shit, then yeah, I'm willing to do that 100%. Yeah, call me a tanky all you want. Motherfuckers don't know what like the words mean. Okay, well, you just don't understand what words actually mean. It's like if you think that, I mean, you're just a Republican at that point, straight up. If you think that like the federal government undermining the will of like random states that want to do horrifying things to a minority, sometimes a majority of people, and the federal government preventing that is actually tanky behavior, then yeah, I'm a fucking tanky. Call me that all the way, baby. Straight up. I'm rolling the fucking tanks, okay? Straight the fuck up. This is me, bro. This is me when this is me protecting like this is me protecting fucking voters' rights, okay? Allowing people to access the vote everywhere. Roll it in. Roll it the fuck in. Roll them over. Okay? This is me rolling the fucking tanks into Texas to protect abortion rights. Straight up. Oh, you want to do direct democracy? You want to try and fucking like, I don't know, undermine people's civil liberties? Like, I'll fucking roll the tanks in. I don't give a shit. Straight up. Anyway, It's the same energy as like fucking dumbass ANCAP libertarians being like, aha, taxes are theft. Taxes are theft. All taxes are theft.
Not going anywhere, and we are going to protect ourselves.
Voters blocked an amendment that would have strict protections from the state's constitution, clearing the way for lawmakers to enact tighter restrictions or an outright ban. Anti-abortion rights activists say it's far from over.
If the last 50 years haven't shown anything, we've been fighting. We're not going to stop fighting.
The turnout soared, lines stretching around the block. Voters on both sides energized after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade.
We don't want to be known as an abortion state. We want to have some limits, and we want to have the people.
I mean, this is the funniest take, by the way. We definitely have some hogs in Kansas, but at least we're better than Missouri. Yeah, no shit, brother. I'm sorry to report this, but like, you know, being better than Missouri doesn't mean anything, okay? Like, you're technically better than fucking Oklahoma as well, because Oklahoma constantly is trying to be worse than Texas when they easily could be better than Texas, but they refuse to be better than Texas. And it's like a fucking constant swan dive into who can be the most cruel and awful. But like, yeah, the state is literally called Missouri, okay? Misery. Like, not engaging in the fucking never-ending competition of who can be the worst state. It doesn't necessarily make you a great state, okay? I mean, for now, yes, but... And it's so wild. So many of these little bitches act up. Like Idaho, Indiana right now is popping off. They're like, oh my God, Ohio's gotten too much, okay? Ohio, also known as Western Pennsylvania, has gotten too much coverage being fucking dickheads. We need to do something. We need to be the fucking worst. You weren't ready when Ohio threw his hat in the ring?
People have the right to say what they want in their own state.
As somebody that's had an abortion, I think it's incredibly stigmatized, and I think that we need to get rid of that stigma, and it begins with keeping access to safe, legal, and affordable abortion.
At least 14 states have stopped nearly all abortion services, but Kansas will remain a safe haven for abortions, at least for now.
The overwhelming no vote just proves that people in states can stand up and say, no, you're not going to control my body. And I hope this is an example for other states.
This primary was closely watched around the nation. President Biden released...
Talk about how people are disillusioned constantly, but don't apply that here. Why would progressive people in a historically free state vote for people parallel to Nancy Pelosi? What? Kansas here. We have a Democratic governor and elect Democratic senators all the time. We have a history of being a free state on one of the battlegrounds of the Civil War. No, I know. People will register to vote if Democrats actually cared about the working class. We used to be a populist state and even used to have socialists in office. No, I know. I mean, that's true. That is true. That is quite literally true. I mean, it was a big deal in the Civil War as well. Now, having said that, years and years of Democratic negligence has unironically created an incredible opportunity for Republicans to come in and sweep in with reactionary populist messaging. They even have a city called Liberal, and their baseball team is really good. They're called the BJs. What? By that logic, West Virginia should be full of left-wing militant unions? Yeah. I mean, the ones that are... Yeah. You Turk post? Kansas post? Yeah, I see that. I didn't realize Kansas was the Balkan posting state. I've never seen someone ride so hard for fucking an American state when I'm ripping into it. Goddamn. You can text and drive in Missouri, but can't have an abortion. What the fuck? I lived in Alabama and St. Louis. MO is the worst state in my opinion. St. Louis and Kansas City better. Keep it better on paper, but fuck's sake, rural Missouri might be the worst place I've ever been to in my life. I mean, yeah. No other state had a man named Chief Wanna Doobie run for Senate like 10 times? Dude, no. No. That doesn't let you win, okay? California has people like that too. We also have a town called Republican, though, Lamont. Hey, listen, that's centrism. That's America, okay? Anyway, so good news.
This statement after these results came in saying this makes clear the majority of Americans believe the right to an abortion should be protected. And in just a few hours, the president is expected to sign an executive order to help support out-of-state patients who have to travel to get an abortion, George.
Rachel, that margin really was surprising.
Well, hey.
Wait, hold on. Hey there, Robin Roberts fans. Okay, I'm not done with this yet, though. So here it is. What messaging worked in Kansas? Let's look at the ads from the winning no team. One theme, labeling the proposed amendment as government mandate. In this ad, the word for abortion is not said. It's a strict government mandate designed to interfere with the private medical decisions. Kansas don't want another government mandate.
They call it a constitutional amendment. The truth, it's a strict government mandate designed to interfere with private medical decisions, a slippery slope that could put more of your individual and personal rights at risk. The ballot language is...
That's good. I like that. I like that a lot.
It's confusing, but one thing is clear. Kansans don't want another government mandate. So on August 2nd, send a message.
Get them hogs going, brother. Yeah, I fucking hate the federal government. Yay, yay.
Say
hey,
no.
Whatever works, dude. When your most basic rights are being undermined by the Republican Party, whatever fucking messaging works, okay? Straight up. God, Americans are so brain broken. I'm losing my mind. This app features a male doctor. Let's take a look at that one. This is that ad.
Do no harm. That's the oath we take as doctors. But now, the government wants to force doctors in Kansas to break that oath by passing a constitutional amendment that could put a mother's life at risk. It's a government mandate that could ban all abortions with no exceptions, even rape and incest. It's dangerous, and it ties the hands of doctors in Kansas. On August the 2nd, I'm voting no on the amendment because I took an oath. Do no harm.
So they hit it from both angles. Do no harm. This app features a mother talking about an abortion needed to save her life. It's an impossible choice. I had a 3-year-old son at the time and husband if I didn't have an abortion.
It's an impossible choice that no parent should have to make. I had a 3-year-old son at the time and a husband who needed me to be very much so alive. And if I didn't have an abortion, they would be without their mother and their wife. But if this constitutional amendment passes, no one in Kansas will have that choice. It could ban any abortion with no exceptions, even in cases like mine. That's my story, and I'm not alone. Vote.
This ad emphasizes existing abortion rules to suggest the amendment. They should have just done an ad being like, listen, do you want to be as bad as Missouri? Hey, Kansas. Do you want to be as bad as Missouri? No, right? Come on. I mean, that's too far. Don't do that. They had a Catholic grandmother. Okay, let's take a look at this one.
Abortion is already highly regulated in Kansas. Here are the facts. Taxpayer funding for abortion outlawed. Abortion after viability banned. Parental consent required. But you should also know this. This confusing constitutional mandate amendment could lead to a full ban of any abortion in Kansas, with no exceptions for rape, incest, or a mother's life. That's extreme and goes too far. Vote no.
This app features a Catholic grandmother.
We didn't talk about abortion, but now it's on the ballot, and we can no longer ignore it. I won't support putting a woman's life at risk, and that's just what this constitutional amendment does. It could ban any abortion in Kansas, even when a mother's life is on the line, or with rape or incest. If it were my granddaughter, I wouldn't want the government making that decision for her.
Dude, honestly, This is, and I have to remind you guys all the time of this exact same thing. This is further proof that the most popular politician in the United States of America is a faceless ballot measure that is incredibly progressive and not immediately associated with the Democratic Party or a Democratic politician. Okay? That's it. That's why you consistently see ballot measures, especially in fucking red states, like, you know, should we institute communism tomorrow? Should we create a dictatorship of the proletariat tomorrow? And it wins by like 75%. Meanwhile, there's like a barn burner for like you know, whichever fucking fascist is running for office on both sides of the political spectrum. It's like whoever wins in a state like Florida wins by like 0.1%. Meanwhile, Florida would be like 85% allowing the minimum wage to be $30 an hour. And of course, there are places, I mean, Florida has learned their lesson from this. Florida legislatures are passing bill to limit citizen ballot initiatives. The $3,000 cap is the same limit set on contributions on individual legislative campaigns. Floridians who want to amend the state constitution through a citizen initiative and bypass the unresponsive state legislature will now have their ability to finance the effort severely limited if a bill sent to the governor by the Florida House on Monday becomes law. Okay? So they're imposing a $3,000 cap on contributions to any political committee sponsoring or opposing a constitutional amendment proposed by initiative. So money is free speech, except for when you are trying to get literally like the actual grassroots initiative launched. Did you know the entire ballot campaign was paid for by churches, specifically by the Catholic Church, not even Republicans? Yeah, I think Republicans... Okay, so here are some things I want to mention about this. This Vote No ballot initiative created a major turnout opportunity. I think the Republicans are Republicans are demons, but they're not stupid. And I think if it were up to the state GOP, if it were up to the fucking Republican Party, they would have never let this fucking ballot measure be on the ballot. They would have never done that because they recognize that abortion, at the very least, they recognize as a galvanizing and deeply unpopular position that the Republican Party has. Republicans want to win elections. They don't give a fuck about anything. Republicans want to undermine democracy. And they regularly do it all the time. So this actually drove a lot of people to the polls to go out and vote for something. You know what I mean? If you're a woman, if you're someone who has the capability of becoming pregnant, if you are someone who's empathetic, and even though you're disillusioned and even though you don't care about voting for the Democratic Party, all of a sudden you're like, boom, well, now I got to go fucking vote. This is crazy. You get it? So it did drive people to the polls. It did drive people to go out, and it fucking backfired on the Catholic Church's face or whoever the fuck that wanted to like strip these rights away. So that's precisely why these places, 4 times the previous midterms, 900,000, 4 times the previous midterms in Kansas. I mean, this is huge. There's got to be more analysis on it than you know, than just like the way that people were talking about it. But this is as dirty as you can get. Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. This is as dirty as you can get. The Anti-Abortion Coalition is sending out a last-minute mass text to Kansas pro-choice voters, blatantly lying about the abortion amendment so they vote the wrong way, and it failed. So get fucked, nerds. But yeah, Republicans were trying to trick pro-choice voters, as I said already. As I mentioned already, but like Republican groups were trying to get people to vote, like pro-choice Democratic Party voters, like likely fucking pro-choice voters, to vote the opposite way by using the confusing wording on the language. That's how all ballot measures are for the most part, unfortunately. Okay, but yeah, women in Kansas are losing their choice on reproductive rights. Voting yes on the amendment will give a woman a choice. Vote yes to protect a woman's health. Vote yes to protect a woman's health. Vote yes to give a woman a choice. It's the exact opposite. No, for those of you wondering, I wonder if they accidentally made anti-abortion voters confused and vote no. No, they don't fucking send this to anti-abortion voters, brother. They know who the fuck. They know who is who's likely to vote no on a measure like this. They know who's pro-choice. It is illegal, but like also many things are, but it doesn't even fucking matter. This was Nate Cohn's initial take. It'll be a while until we get the voter file data on this election, but I think there's a chance this was the largest partisan turnout advantage in a high turnout election that Democrats have enjoyed as long as I followed election data. Now, we don't know. It doesn't seem like there was a huge split in early v election day vote, early vote versus election day vote, as expected. Even though D's Democrats were 50% likelier to turn out in early day vote than Republicans, that raises the possibility that Democrats had the huge turnout edge on election day as well, and a rare big edge overall. Now, we don't know if this is going to translate. There's still 99 days until the midterms, okay? We don't know if the momentum will keep up. We don't know what kind of messaging flubs the Democratic Party will engage in. We know that the Democratic Party has a really awful time getting behind popular ballot measures and popular initiatives. They're really fucking bad. All they know is to sit back and not fuck shit up sometimes on accident. Okay? So there's a likelihood that they might fuck this up still. That's why I always tell you, like, don't ever expect, especially in American politics, for things to go a certain way. Okay? How can you have credible votes when the object given is a blatant lie in text? How does that make sense? I mean, ballot measures are written in that way all the time, okay? The legend Steve Kornacki. Let's see what fucking Steve
is sending a thunderbolt of a message last night. Let's go straight to the big board where we find NBC News national political correspondent.
Oh, it's board boy.
Steve Kornacki. Steve, good morning. What
got
more
the
can you tell us
khakis.
about what happened
Steve Kornacki with the khaki.
Kansas last night.
I gotta pee. I'll be back. He's looking slim though.
In terms of turnout here now,
he's
more
looking
than
slim
900,000 votes are counted in this primary. Typically, in a Kansas primary, at least if you went back just to 2018 when you had competitive primaries on both sides, the number was really half of that. It was about 450,000. When you've had presidential election, general election turnout in Kansas in 2012, it was just under 1.2 million. In 2016, it was about 1.2 million. And again, you're over 900,000 here in a midsummer primary. So I think it shows you the level of interest clearly that this referendum brought out among the electorate. I think one thing that's interesting here, too, is, you think of Kansas as a red state. It did go for Donald Trump by 15 points in 2020. In that Trump-Biden election in 2020, 5 counties in the entire state of Kansas, 5 counties voted for Joe Biden. When Laura Kelly, the current Democratic governor, got elected in 2018, she won statewide. She only actually carried 8 counties. You can see the no side on this referendum is actually going to end up carrying 19 counties. So that is a much more sweeping verdict than even the Democrat who won the gubernatorial election in 2018 got. A couple things that stick out to me in this. First of all, to get a number up near 60%, where the no is going to land on this, there were some Republicans who voted in the Republican primary just mathematically and then voted no on this. So there was crossover voting in that direction, trying to figure out exactly how much. But that's an ingredient that had to be part of this. Another ingredient, though, is I think something that Democrats have been talking about politically since that Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe versus Wade. They have been saying that it would have a particular effect in the suburban areas of the country where Democrats have been making the biggest inroads over the last decade, particularly with college-educated.
I don't understand. Way more of that map looks orange to me, brother. That's right. Land distribution is how you're supposed to do these sorts of things, right? They stole it.
voters, particularly with college-educated female voters in metro areas, in suburban areas. And so I want to call attention to one county here. This is Johnson County, Kansas. And actually, I mean, if you could just do the math in your heads, you could see this is the biggest in the state. This is a massive
That's insane, bro. 70%, brother. And hey, guess what? The largest distinction or the biggest predictor at this point, not the biggest predictor, but one of the biggest predictors at this point for like how you're going to end up voting is the distinction between rural voters and urban voters. Okay? You live in a city, you're likely to fucking vote Democratic. And a lot of big cities have a lot of people in them. Now, that also creates unique opportunities in redistricting, okay? And when you district, you can district away gigantic swaths of the population, so you only get one fucking vote and ensure that there is no democratic process. You are watching that right now, okay? If you take a whole bunch of areas where there's just fucking cows and a couple cousin fuckers, and then put a representative, a state representative, within the state legislature from one of those cow fucking cousin fucking areas, and then make that count for one representative, just like an entire fucking city, all of a sudden, you got like 8 cow fucking cousin fucking representatives at the state legislature for the same amount of population from one fucking district in the cities.
Suburban metropolitan Kansas City County here, and the vote was overwhelmingly no. 68% no. In terms of the share of the statewide electorate that Johnson makes up, this is always high. This is unusually high. Right now, you're looking at about 27% of all the votes cast in this Kansas primary came out of this county, Johnson County. More typically, that number is going to be between 20 and 25. So that shows an extreme level of interest in just the place Democrats were saying after that Supreme Court ruling that you would have new political engagement or higher political engagement. And now the question, if Democrats were right about that point, the question is, this is a referendum on abortion. What Democrats have also been saying is that this sentiment, this energy will attach itself to the general election, to the Democrat versus Republican races.
That's the question on everybody's minds.
That's the case.
That's the question on everybody's minds. Is this kind of voter turnout going to mean a positive? Is this turnout actually changing the outcome of the midterm elections, which were going to absolutely eviscerate the Democratic Party? And I don't know. I can't say. I'm not going to fucking sit here and make a prediction. The only consistency here is the top of the hour ad break. Okay, you can predict that at the top of the hour, I'm going to serve you a 60-second ad break. Now, there are things you can do if you hate the top of the hour ad break, if you want an ad-free broadcasting experience. The things you can do are subscribing for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get one free Prime subscription that you can use on your favorite broadcaster. Okay? Hopefully that's me. Yeah, I mean, it's expected. Like I said, the only prediction you can adequately make on the Hasanabi broadcast is that the ad break is upon us. Okay, you can also get gifted a sub. If you're lucky, that is. You can get gifted a sub and also avoid the ad breaks that way. Here's the 1-minute ad break now.
But just take a closer look here at Johnson County, because I think this is so fascinating. There are counties like this all
I'm a former
across the
Hasanabi
country.
subscriber. Wait, what happened? Why former, bitch? The fuck? I'm picking up what you're putting down. I often find myself enjoying your streams. No way Groundworks treat their employees badly. They're certified organic. He's practicing. Saw Hasanabi TikTok. I would uninstall TikTok. Smile. 230 is an excellent weight for your height, winky face. No Bugatti. Should have called them Silly Billy Cops. Flimsy, thank you for the 10 gifted. Matt NLT, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. This guy a jokester? Don't worry, I will come back, winky face. Stop sending me winky faces. It freaks me out. I told you already. I remember the Milky Burp name, though. I'm gonna be honest. It does ring a bell. Okay. 70% of Kansans who registered to vote after 6/24, the Dobbs decision, were women, dude. That's wild. Not to get too libbed up here, but, you know, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, right? And they did do that a little bit. They did do that a little bit. Now, of course, make no mistake, there are still Republican women who will vote to protect abortions, but still go fucking vote down ballot. You know what I'm saying? Alert. Douglas Code Dems. We have first-hand reports that anti-abortion activists are posing as election workers in Sedgwick County and are turning away legitimate voters who marked that they're felons on a fake questionnaire. Felons are allowed to vote if they completed their terms of their sentence. God damn, dude. The reason turnout was so high was because the issue was on the ballot and not a candidate who was saying they would fight for the issues. I still think they are dead if they don't deliver anything. Yeah. I used to be a Hasanabi subscriber, but then I sent a video link in chat and Hasan said my video was boring. It was an art analysis video. Now I'm no longer a sub. Watching without video. This motherfucker's not even watching with the video right now. Hey, chatter, have you thought about sending fun links instead?
Big suburban county.
Fucking got him.
That have made this kind of a journey over the last decade. In 2012, Johnson was just a bedrock Republican county. The Republicans won it by almost 20 points. In 2016, Donald Trump came along. Trump carried it, but by a vastly reduced margin. His presidency further alienated the voters in that county, and Joe Biden ended up winning it by more than 8 points in 2020. Now on this referendum, Johnson is a no by a margin of 37 points. And again, what Democrats have been saying is there are a lot of Johnson counties across the country, the suburbs of Philadelphia, the suburbs of Atlanta, the suburbs of Phoenix, places like that where Democrats have made similar inroads over the last decade and where they think this issue is going to be resonant, is going to give them a boost in the fall. It's a two-pronged argument Democrats have been making here. I think on the first argument they've been making, they've got proof.
You're bleeding money, Hasan. Get it together. Yeah. What am I doing? I got to be nicer to these fucking subs or else I'm going to lose all of you. Holy shit.
Proof from what happened in Johnson County, Kansas last night that, yeah, this did bring out a lot of political energy in the suburbs in particular in Kansas. The second argument they're making is that this will resonate as well in the partisan November general elections of Democratic candidates, Republican candidates. From a referendum here, we can't answer that yet, but that's what they're hoping for. We'll see if that's what happens.
Well, let's look at just, Steve, if you can, let's look at the journey that the Republican Party has taken in this one county from Mitt Romney's election in 2012 to what happened last night. And this really underlines, we had reporting that Donald Trump was just aghast when Republicans started passing the anti-choice laws in Texas, also very concerned that he would be hurt in the areas where Republicans were already bleeding support. And sure enough, I think a lot of Republicans needed to be concerned about that, because look at those numbers again. You brought it up. That it's incredible. In a decade, in just one decade, from Mitt Romney's election night to last night, Democrats have lost 20, or Republicans have lost 26 points in this county. Of course, we're comparing apples and oranges a bit here, but you look at Mitt Romney's 57% and you look at the Republicans' 31% last night. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, no, and as I say, again, there are counties like this across the country. You know, you just think of these big suburban counties, Cobb County in Georgia, for instance, you know, that you used to, when George W. Bush was president, even when just Mitt Romney was running in 2012, you used to just look at him on election night and say, not if the Republicans.
Okay, there is something I fucking hate about this, okay? The thing that I hate about this, ultimately, is that, like, the Democratic Party's, gambit on allowing Republicans to destroy civil liberties to a degree where, like, that will automatically create a base of support and galvanize people to go out and fucking vote in the polls is working. And that shit pisses me off a little bit, okay? Not gonna lie. That kind of sucks, all right? It's annoying that, like, the Democrats can still get away with not doing shit and just allowing Republicans to destroy the fucking country. But what are you going to do?
Are going to win, but just what's the margin Republicans are going to get out of them? And
what is this? Why should we, as normal people, care about this stuff if there's not much we can do? Do I need to sub to get my question answered? No, dumbass. What do you mean, as normal people care about this stuff? I mean, this is one of those instances where, like, your vote directly mattered. And when your vote directly matters, you're more likely to go out and vote. It is annoying. It's more of this vote for us because we're not them instead of just demonstrating that they care about doing something. Yeah.
And that's where Republicans have suffered their erosion. That was also, when you think back to 2018, that blue wave in 2018, what keyed it? It was suburbs. It was metropolitan areas of cities all across the country. So when you look here to 2022 and what Democrats are trying to pull off in terms of hanging on to the Senate, and I mean, maybe, you know, having some kind of fighting chance in the House, it goes.
You're on your main? Yeah, what do you mean? I said Steven Crowder is what happens when someone tries to get a back alley abortion and it fails. This is why abortion should be safe and left to medical professionals? Yeah. What the fuck do you mean? It might be a bit much. I didn't say anything wrong. It's true. That's what a failed abortion looks like, dude. What do you mean? When the abortion doesn't take. Okay? Also, fucking juice this right now, you little bitches. What do you mean? It's too much. It's too much. Stop being fucking lame, dude. Don't let the lib minority take over the stream. Yeah, exactly. What the fuck? We already fucking ratioed him in under like a second, but, you know, it's always good. Some of you don't want me to correctly describe Steven Crowder's medical condition as a failed abortion, and it shows. Here, you want to hear him say it? Because, like, just seeing the tweet enough is just seeing the tweet is enough for me to fucking say things like this. But maybe some of you need to hear what he has to say about Kansas.
Kansas now will allow abortions still up to 22 weeks. That's 5.5 months. And the feminists were screaming. It is unreal to think that they see this as a violation of civil rights. Also, Demi Lovato.
So what happened? What happened, bro? What happened? I thought you wanted to leave it up to the states. Leave it up. I thought this was about to be more democratic. So what happens? You actually do get democracy and you're like, just kidding. Don't want that kind of democracy. Suck my cock, bitch. Fuck you. Also, Demi Lovato
is a guy now. She's not a guy, Dave?
Ay, 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 ay. Ah, Demi Lovato added she, her, back to her gender pronouns, but still is using they, them. Let's make a fucking entire goddamn video around this. Hassan, please be nicer to her. Steven is in a dark place. She needs to come out of the closet. Oh, damn. Okay, Kevels. States' rights, but only if you agree with me. Yeah, I mean, that's how it works. That's why I always tell you, like, the whole states' rights shit is bullshit. At least I'm honest, and I say I will roll the fucking tanks. I will roll the tanks. If it means protecting civil liberties, I will roll the fucking tanks. I don't give a shit. Fuck those people.
Goes through the Johnson counties of America. So that's why I paid particularly close attention to this. But it is also true that if you look at other counties, we could just look at counties in rural, Kansas here. I mean, again, this is what I say. There were Republicans, who voted no on this. Here's just one random county in rural western Kansas. Donald Trump won 85% of the vote here. Joe Biden barely got 10% in 2020. The no side got basically triple what Biden got. Again, this is a win in this county for you.
Listen, in your fucking podunk backwater county where, you want to be able to make sure that your cousin carries your fucking incestual semen into term, you can do that. You know what I mean? You can do that. If you Hicks want to fuck your cousins and make sure, okay? Like, look at the numbers of voters, bro. Like, the town that he's referencing, look at this, please. Look at the number of voters in this fucking county versus this fucking county. Johnson is the largest county with 166,000 no votes and 76,000 yes votes. And then he flips it over to fucking Clark. It's like a total 700 people, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? Why is that a county? Why do they get to make a decision? Half of the fucking county is already related to one another. Only 257 people are not literally from the same incestuous fuck family. That's crazy to me. God damn it, dude. I fucking hate, God, Jesus Christ, dude. I hate the American heartland so much. Call me fucking anti-worker or whatever all you want. I'm sorry that it just like fucking, I have endless disdain for places where there's like 700 people living, okay? This is coming off as anti-democratic. Is it? Is it coming off as anti-democratic? That like entire fucking counties can have so much outsized political power?
Kansas here. I mean, again, this is what I say. There were Republicans, who voted no on this. Here's just one random county in rural western Kansas. Donald Trump won 85% of the vote here. Joe Biden barely got 10% in 2020. The no side got basically triple what Biden got. Again, this is a win in this county for yes, but not nearly the margin Republicans have been posting there. So that's another ingredient of what happened here in Kansas.
The pundits looking at counties for statewide referendums like this is so stupid, though, because the counties are meaningless except for analytics. It's not like some sort of electoral college bullshit. It's just an arbitrary way to segment up the population. Counties don't really have power. That would be state legislature districts. I know, but state legislature districts are also fucking cut out in a way that also benefits Republicans, usually. Steve Kornacki have white boy swag? He absolutely does. Absolutely. Anyway, so... Kansas, big dub for Kansas, okay? Big dub for the people in Kansas that want to make sure that people who are pregnant can still get a fucking abortion, a medical procedure, okay, that you should be able to get.